All right, let's jump right in. If you have ever, and I mean ever, spent a long, frustrating afternoon just staring at a spreadsheet, wondering where it all went wrong, well, this one's for you. Because we're going to talk about a simple but really powerful idea. The problem might not be what you think it is.
Now I know what you're thinking. That sounds completely backwards, right? Especially when it feels like Excel is the source of all your headaches. But just stick with me here, because what if that tool you use every single day isn't the real villain in this story?
And boom, there it is. The real issue isn't the software, it's the system. It's the whole series of manual steps that you're forced to take day in and day out. The software is just taking all the blame for a workflow that's totally broken.
So let's really unpack that idea. It's so easy to get mad at our tools. We've all been there, right? But more often than not, that frustration is just a symptom. It's a big, flashing warning sign of a much deeper issue with how we're actually approaching the work itself.
Let's just be honest for a second. Think about your last work week. Does any of this, the anxiety, the mind-numbing repetition, the sheer manual effort of just wrestling with data, does any of that feel a little too close to home? This is what we call the cycle of rework. It's that sinking feeling you get in your stomach when you open that one file because you know exactly what's coming next. It's this draining manual loop that so many of us are just stuck in. And it sounds a little something like this.
You pull the data from one place.
You put it into another,
You double check it, you triple check it,
And then you do it all over again next week. It's a cycle that doesn't just burn your time, it completely burns you out.
and you know this feeling shows up in really specific ways. Are you running the exact same report month after month? Or maybe you're applying the same formulas across a dozen different files. Do you live in constant fear of one tiny mistake, one misplaced comma that's going to cost you 3 hours to find? Yeah, that's not a tool problem. That's a process problem.
So let's get to the heart of it. What's the real culprit behind all of this stress? Well, the answer forces us to shift our focus away from the tool we're using and onto the method itself.
This right here, this is the big reframe. Every single hour you've spent hunting down errors or just repeating those manual tasks wasn't stolen by a piece of software. It was eaten alive by an inefficient, unstructured workflow.
And this is so important to hear. This isn't about you not being good at Excel. Honestly, most people are incredibly skilled. The issue is that all that talent is being completely wasted on processes that just don't have a solid, repeatable structure.
So what does a better way actually look like in the real world? Let's get practical and look at a tale of two workflows, one that's all manual and one that's been streamlined. I mean, look at this. The difference is just night and day. Before, you've got two people grinding for a full week, completely bogged down with manual checks and high stress. But after fixing the process, you have one person spending just half a day using repeatable logic and feeling calm and in control. The numbers are impressive, sure, but look at that last line, the change in feeling. That's the real game changer. And this brings us to the true value of fixing your process. It's so easy to think it's just about saving a few hours here and there, but the real prize, it goes so much deeper than what you can see on a timesheet. So let's just bust the common myth right now. While yes, speed is a fantastic side effect, it's not the main goal. If you only focus on going faster, you're going to miss the most transformative benefits of having a better workflow.
Okay, the real benefits are about fundamentally changing how you think and work. First, you get to make fewer decisions. When a process is automated, you eliminate all that constant low-level decision-making that just drains your mental battery. Second, you make fewer mistakes. A structured workflow is predictable, and that drastically cuts down the chances for human error. And finally, and this is the big one, you get more mental clarity. This is the true prize, freeing up your brain power to focus on strategic, creative work, the work you were actually hired to do in the first place.
So, if we could boil this entire thing down to just one single idea, it would be this. Think of it like a quick diagnostic tool. The next time a spreadsheet feels slow, clunky, and just plain heavy, don't blame the file size. Ask yourself, what heavy manual process is weighing this thing down? And that's the question I really want to leave you with. Start looking at your own work through this new lens. This isn't about abandoning the tools you know and love. It's about building a smarter system around them. By focusing on your process, you can turn a tool of frustration into a powerful engine for clarity and focus.